Hello, Mahima here from Ask Now Academy. I hope you all are doing good. So, today we will study the part 2 of a chapter 1. Here, firstly, we'll start with the type of chemical reaction. But actually, there are some types for the chemical reaction. We'll deeply study all the types. Also, we have learned class 9th that during the chemical reaction, atom of one element do not change into those of another element, nor do the atoms disappear from the mixture or appear from the elsewhere. Actually, the chemical reaction involves the breaking and making the bond between the atom and produces the new substance. Okay, so you will study about the type of bond formed between the atoms, like in the next chapter 3 and 4. But for now, let's study with the combination reaction. So, firstly, just an activity. Take a small amount of a calcium oxide or a quick lime in the beaker and slow add the water to this. Touch the beaker as shown. And do you feel any changes in temperature? Okay, obviously, there will be the change in temperature. Weaker water and the calcium oxide. So, here the calcium oxide reacts vigorously with the water and produces the slaked lime, or we can say the calcium hydroxide, releasing the large amount of heat. It will release the heat. Temperature will go on high of this beaker. Okay, when you touch it, you will feel it. So, like chemically or in the chemical reaction, we can write it as a CaO, which is a quick lime. The formula of CaO is quick lime is CaO, which is in the solid state. Okay, and H2O, which is in the liquid state, and when they just react, they form a product which is CaOH2. Ca, then OH2. It will be like slaked lime, and it will be in the aqueous state and plus heat. So, in this reaction, the calcium oxide and the water combine to form the single product, which is calcium hydroxide. Calcium oxide is like getting mixed with the water, and we are getting the calcium hydroxide. Such reaction in which the single product is formed from the two or more reactant is known as combination reaction. Simply, they are combining, or a combination is happening between both the reactants, and we are getting only one product, and this particular thing is known as the, like, see, when a reaction when the single product is formed from two or more reactants, single product is formed for the two or more reactants is known as combination reaction. So this is what combination reaction called. Okay. So also there is some extra thing like a solution slake lime produced by the reaction is used for the whitewashing walls, and calcium hydroxide reacts with the carbon dioxide air within the thin layer of the calcium carbonate on the balls. Calcium carbonate is formed after the 2 or 3 days of the whitewashing and gives you the shiny fish. Okay, finish or to the walls. It is interesting to note that the chemical formula of the marble is also CaCO3. Okay, just and the formula for the chemical formula of the marble is CaCO3, the calcium hydroxide, and we are getting the calcium carbonate. Calcium hydroxide and the calcium oxide, when they just combine as a product, we are getting the calcium carbonate, which is CaCO3, and also water, which is in the liquid state. Now, let's discuss some more examples of the combination reaction. Burning of coal, which is Cas and O, then it's forming a CO2, forming of water from H2 and then O, means hydrogen and oxygen are combining, and we are getting H2O. Here the 4H, yes, 4H, and then O is 2, then O is 2. Okay, so these are some examples for the combination of reaction. In simple language, we can say that when the two or more substance, element, or the compound combine to form the single product, and the reaction is called a combination reaction. This is a very simple definition for the combination reaction. Also, in activity, we can also observe that the large amount of heat is evolved, and this makes a reaction extra warm, and reaction of which heat is released along the formation of the water is called a exothermic reaction. See, reaction in which the heat released along with the formation of product, and from the equation only we can see, yes, see, the heat is also releasing now. So at that time only we can say that when the reaction is happening, and in the reaction in which heat is released along with the formation of product, are called a exothermic chemical reaction. Okay. Other examples for the exothermic reaction are the warning of the natural gas CH4, which is in the gaseous state, and then 2O2 oxygen which is in the gaseous state again, and it forms a CO2, or in the gaseous state 2H2O in the gaseous state. Now, do you know that the respiration is an exothermic reaction, exothermic process? So we all know that we need energy to stay alive, right? So we get this energy from the food we eat. During the digestion, the food is broken down into the simpler substance. For example, rice, potatoes, bread contain carbohydrate. These carbohydrates are broken down from a glucose, and then glucose combined with the oxygen into the cells of the body and provide the energy. So the name, a special name for this reaction is respiration, and the process which we'll study in the chapter 6. They deeply will study this respiration process in the chapter 6, but for now, we have studied how it worked. So still, the formula for the glucose is C6H12O6 and 6O2, oxygen which is in the aqueous state. And as a product, we are getting 6CO2 aqueous solution plus H6H2, which is in the liquid state, and then energy. So this is the reaction for the respiration process. Now, the decomposition of the vegetables matter into the composite is also an example of an exothermic reaction. Identify the type of reaction taking place, okay, in the first activity which we did, where heat is given out along with the formation of single product. As we know, heat was also releasing. So this was all about the combination reaction. Now we will start the decomposition of reaction. Okay, the second one is decomposition reaction. So firstly, we'll understand it with the activity. Take a 2 gram of a ferrous sulfate crystal in the dry boiling tube. Note the color of the ferrous sulfate crystal, whatever the color is there in the initial state, and heat the boiling tube over the flame, the burner or the split as shown in figure like this. Okay. So observe the color of the crystal after the heating. When you are giving the temperature or heating process has been done, at that time you will observe the color of the crystal. Okay, have you noticed that the green color of the ferrous sulfate, like earlier it was in the green color, has changed? You can also smell the characteristics odor of burning sulfur, how it like smells. So like chemically or in the chemical reaction, we can write it as a 2FeSO4, which is the ferrous sulfate formula. And when we are giving the heat to it, we are getting Fe2O3 is which in the solid state. We can say this as a ferric oxide. SO2 is there and SO3 is there. Okay, we are getting SO2 and SO3 there, but they are in the gaseous form. That's fine. So this is what we are getting when the ferrous sulfate is burning or we are giving heat to it. So in this reaction, you can observe that the single reactant break down into the simpler product. See, it is getting a breakdown into the simpler product. This is a decomposition reaction. Earlier, it was only like only one product we were getting, but here it is simply breaking down into the simpler product. This decomposition reaction, ferrous sulfate, FeSO4, 7H2O, this is a sulfate crystal formula, lose water when it's heated. Okay, when it's heated and the color of the crystal changes, it decomposes to the ferric oxide. We are getting Fe2O3 and the sulfur dioxide, which is SO2, and the sulfur trioxide, which is SO3. So the ferric oxide is also is a solid. SO2 and SO3 are in the gaseous state. So decomposition of the calcium carbonate, this is the first one. Okay, now another example is also there. Decomposition of the calcium carbonate to the calcium oxide in the carbon dioxide on heating. The important decomposition reaction used in the various industry. Calcium oxide is called a quick lime or called a lime, or we can say quick lime. It has many uses, one of which manufacturing of the cement when decomposition reaction is carried out by the heating, or it is called a thermal decomposition. Okay, when the decomposition reaction carried out by the heating, it is called a thermal decomposition. Another definition also we get from here. So again, CaCO3 limestone has been heated, and here we are getting a CaO, which is the quick lime, and a CO2 carbon dioxide, which is in the gaseous state. Now, another example of the thermal decomposition reaction is given. So firstly, take about 2 gram of the lead nitrate powder in a boiling tube, and hold the boiling tube for the pair of the tongs, heat over the flame. So what will you observe? Note the changes. So you will observe the emission of the brown fumes like this. Okay, and these fumes are the nitrogen dioxide. Actually, these fumes are the nitrogen dioxide, which is NO2, and the reaction that takes place is 2PvNO3. This formula you will have to learn by heart. Lead nitrate formula is 2PvNO3 whole twice, which is in the solid state. After heating, we are get we'll get 2PbO, which is a lead oxide in the solid state, and 4NO2, which is in the gaseous state, nitrogen dioxide, O2, which is in the gaseous state, oxygen. So now this is another experiment. Now let us perform some more decomposition reaction as given in the activity. Now we'll more deeply study the decomposition reaction. So firstly, take the plastic of the mug, drill in the two holes and the base of the fit rubber stopper like this. Okay, and these holes insert the carbon electrode. We are inserting the carbon electrode stopper as shown. So connect these electrode to the 6 volt of a battery. See as shown in figure. Now fill the mug with the water and such that the electrodes are immersed. Okay, just immerse these electrodes and the few drop of the dilute sulfuric acid to the water. Now take the test tube filled with the water and then invert them carbon electrodes and switching the current and leave the apparatus undisturbed for the some time. Okay, like just switch on the battery and just cover these electrode with the test tube, and you will observe the formation of bubbles on the both electrodes, and these bubbles displaces the water of the these you can see bubbles are like there, the formation of bubbles, and these bubbles will displace the water in the test tube. And is the volume of the gas collected on the same or the test tube? Just check it. One of the test tube are the filled with the respective gases and remove them carefully, and the test tube test these gases one by one, bringing the burning candle close to the mouth of the test tube. So caution is this must be performed carefully by the teacher, and what you'll have to observe is what happened in the case, which kind of the gas is present in the each tube. So this is the one activity. Another one activity is also there. Just take a 2 gram of silver chloride in a china dish, and what is its color? Place this china dish in the sunlight for the some time, as you can see in the figure, and observe the color of the silver chloride after some time. You'll have to observe the color of the silver chloride after some time. Now you will see that the silver chloride turns gray. It will change the color and will turn into the gray, and this is due to the decomposition of the silver chloride into the silver and a chloride by the light. So see, 2AgCl sunlight we are giving. So it is just distributed in two things. It will be Ag and Cl2. One in the solid state, another one is in the gaseous state. So silver bromide also behave in the same way, 2AgBr. So 2Ag is in the solid state, Br2 is in the gaseous state. So the above reaction are used in the black and the white photography. What form of energy is causing the decomposition reaction? We have seen the decomposition reaction requirement energy either in the form of heat, light or electricity, or breaking down reacted. So reaction in which energy is absorbed is known as endothermic. Exothermic we have studied. Now the reaction in which the energy are absorbed is known as endothermic reaction. Now, let's move ahead with the some questions. Here first is a solution of the substance is X, and used for the whitewashing. First is name the substance X and write its formula. So the substance is calcium oxide, or we can say quicklime. The formula will be CaO. Second is write the reaction of the substance X named and above the water. So the reaction of the calcium oxide with the water would be like CaO plus H2, and we got CaOH2, which is calcium hydroxide, or we can say it as a slag line. Okay, and the solution of the calcium hydroxide is used for the whitewashing. Now, why is the amount of the gas collected in the one test tube in activity is 1.7 double to the amount of collected in the other? Name the gas. So the amount of the gas collected in the one test tube in the activity 1.7 double by the other, because water is decomposing here. Okay, what actually is like water is decomposing into the hydrogen and the oxygen gases like H2 and O2. H2 and another one is O2. So it is decomposing, and the ratio of 2:1 by the volume. So the gas collected in the double amount of the hydrogen is H2. Now the displacement reaction. Let's move ahead with the new one, which is displacement reaction. So firstly, the activity part. Take three iron nails and clean them with the rubbing with the sand paper. Now take the two test tube and mark it as a and B in A and B, and each test tube take a 10 ml of the copper sulfate solution. Now tie the iron nails with the help of the thread and immerse them carefully in the copper sulfate solution and the test tube B for about 20 minutes. Now keep one nail aside for the comparison. Now, after the 20 minutes, take out iron nails, and from the copper sulfate solution, compare the intensity of the blue color copper sulfate solution in the test tube of A and B, and also compare the color of the iron nails and the dipped in the copper sulfate of the solution with the concave of the aside, like this. These nails, this one copper sulfate solution test A and the test tube test 10, and the reaction or the mixture for the test tube B. Now, iron nails and the copper sulfate solution are compared before and after the experiment. Now, why does the iron nail become the brownish in the color and the blue in color of the copper sulfate solution fade? So, the following chemical reaction is taking place. See, copper sulfate CaSO4, iron Fe. So, we are getting FeSO4, which is iron sulfate, and Cu in the solid state. So, in this reaction, the iron has displaced, or we can say removed, another element copper from the copper sulfate solution. So, this reaction is known as displacement reaction. Other example of the displacement reaction are like ZnCuSO4. It is completely getting displaced. You can see Cu is displacing and we are getting a new product, which is like ZnSO4, or we can say it is a zinc sulfide. Okay, so it's completely displacing. Again, one more is PB and CuCl2. So we will get PbCl2, which is in the aqueous state, and Cu in the solid state. So copper chloride, and we are getting a lead chloride. Now, the zinc and the lead are the more reactive elements than the copper, and they displace the copper as its compound. So, this is what displacement reaction means. Now, the double displacement reaction. Simply, we have started the displacement, but how this double displacement reaction works. So, firstly, just take an activity. Take a 3 ml of the sodium sulfate solution in the test tube, and another test tube, take a 3 ml of the barium chloride solution. Okay, mix the two solution. When you mix it, what you will observe? So you will observe that the white substance, which is insoluble in the water, is formed, and that insoluble substance formed, which is known as precipitate. And any reaction that produces the precipitated is called precipitation reaction. When you are mixing these A and B, what you are getting is like you are getting an insoluble substance in the form of precipitate, and this precipitate in any reaction is called as a precipitation reaction. Okay, Na as Na2SO4, BaCl2. So you will get BaSO4, which is barium sulfate, and NaCl2 or 2NaCl, which is a sodium chloride. So sodium sulfate, barium chloride, they both are working as a reactant. Okay, as a product, what you are getting is barium sulfate, and second is sodium chloride. So there is a double displacement reaction, as it is very clear from this chemical reaction. So what caused this is the white precipitate is BaSO4 formed in the reaction, which is SO4 and 2 minus 2, where 2 power 2 minus, and here it is Ba2 plus, the other product is formed, which is sodium chloride, which remains in the solution. So such reaction in the other, there is an exchange ions between the reactant, which is known as double displacement reaction. So this is what double displacement means. Okay, now oxidation and reduction. What actually it is? So, firstly, again, we'll start with the activity only. Heat a china dish containing a 1 gram of the copper powder, and what you will observe is, so the surface of the copper powder becomes coated with the black copper oxide. Okay, and why this is black? Why this has a black substance on? This is because the oxygen is added in the copper, and the copper oxide is formed. So, see what chemical reaction is 2Cu plus O2. When you are giving heat, it is forming a 2Co. And if the hydrogen gas is passed over the heated material, so 2Cu or CuO is in the black coating surface turns in the brown, and as the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained, so Cu plus H2, you will get Cu plus H2O. So if the substance gains oxygen during the reaction, it is like simply a wild reaction, substance oxygen is gaining. Okay, it is said to be oxidized, and if the substance is losing the oxygen and the during reaction, it is to be reduced. When it is gaining, it is oxidized. When it is reducing, it is reduced. During this reaction, 1.29, the copper H2 is oxide losing the oxygen and being reduced, and the hydrogen is gaining the oxygen and it's being oxidized. In another word, one reactant get oxidized while the another is getting reduced during the reaction. Such reaction is called as oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. When it is like gaining, oxidized, and when it is reducing, when it is reduced reaction. So oxidation and reduction. See, chemically CO and H2 is heat is given. So H2 and it's forming, it's gaining, then oxidation, it's reducing, then it's a reduction. Simple. Some another example for the redox reaction of ZnCO and Zn, then CO. It's gaining, another one is reducing. Mn2 for HCl, MnCl2 gaining, 2H2 it's gaining, Cl2 it is reducing. So this is only the oxygen and a reduction. So now have you observed the effect of oxidation and reactions in everyday life? How? So firstly, the corrosion. You must have observed that iron particles are shiny, and when the new wet are coated with a reddish brown powder when they left for some time. This process is commonly known as rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is something very common we have observed in our day-to-day life. Some other metals are also tarnished in this manner. Have you noticed that the color coating formed on the copper and a silver when the metal is attacked by the substance around it, such as a moisture, acid, etc.? It is said to corrode, and a process is known as corrosion. And the black coating on the silver and a green coating on the silver is an example of a corrosion. Corrosion causes the damage of the car bodies, bridges, iron railing, ship, and all object made by the metal, specifically, like especially the iron. And the corrosion iron is a serious problem. Every year, the enormous amount of money is spent to replace the damaged iron. You will learn more about the corrosion in chapter number 3. Also, now the rancidity, which is, have you ever tasted the smelted fat oil containing the food material left long time? So when the fat oil are oxidized, when the fat oil are oxidized, they become a rancid and their smell taste changes. Usually the substance which prevent the oxidation, or we can say antioxidant, are added in the food containing the fat and oil. Keeping food in the airtight container help us to slow down the oxidation. Do you know that the chip manufacturer usually flush bags of their chips with as a gas such as a nitrogen to prevent the chips from getting oxidized? We can say we can observe air in our packet. Now this is only they are filling the nitrogen, okay, just to prevent chips from the getting oxidized. Now let's move ahead with some caution. Why does the color of the copper sulfate changes when an iron nail is dipped in it? So see, the color of the copper sulfate solution changes when the iron is dipped because iron is more reactive than copper. So that's why, and also iron displaces the copper from the copper sulfate. I will just let you know the reaction, which is Fe plus CuSO4. So we'll get FeSO4 and plus Cu. Okay, so the blue color of the copper sulfate fades, turn green due to the formation of iron sulfate. Second is, give an example of a double displacement reaction other than the reaction of the activity 1.10. So example for the double would be like NaSO4 and BaCl2 will get BaSO4 and 2NaCl. So here the precipitation reaction where the barium sulfate BaSO4 is formed by the white precipitate. So this is the example for a double displacement reaction. Okay, well, like whatever we have seen in the 1.0, apart from that, another one is Na2SO4 plus BaCl2. As in product, we are getting VaSO4 and then 2 of NaCl. Now the third one is, identify the substance that are oxidized and the substance that are reduced in the following reaction. So we can say we have a two reactions where first is 4Na, which is in the solid state, plus O2 in the gaseous state, and we are getting 2Na2 which is in the solid state. So here sodium Na is oxidized, okay, oxidized to the sodium dioxide, and O2 is reduced by the sodium ions. You just see from O2 to O, so it's reducing. Na is oxidizing. Second is CuO, which is in the solid state, plus H2G, which are forming. As a product, we are getting Cu as in the solid state and H2O. So here Cu is reducing, as we can see, and where H2 and O are just gaining. So they are oxidized, and we can say that copper is reducing, or we can, it's a reduce. So very simple again, from the reaction it is confirmed that which is the oxidized and which one is the reduced in the following reactions. Okay, now let's move ahead that what you have learned in this chapter. So a complete chemical equation represents the reactant product in the physical state symbolically how we can represent it. A chemical equation is balanced that the number of atoms each type involved in the chemical reaction are the same on the reactant and the product side of the equation must we have balance. We have studied the balance equation, and how we can balance it as well. Also, in the combination reaction, two or more substance combine to form the new single substance. Decomposition reactions are the opposite to composition reaction. The decomposition reaction, single substance decompose in the two or more substance type of some reactions we have studied. Also, the reaction in which the heat is given more along with the product and are called exothermic reaction, endothermic. Again, I will read it. Reaction in which heat is given out along with the product are called exothermic, and reaction in which energy is absorbed are known as endothermic reaction. Also, when an element displaces the another element from its compound of a displacement, it reaction occurs. Two different atom or the group of an atom ions are exchanged in the double displacement reactions. Precipitation reaction produces an insoluble salt. Also, reaction involves in the gain or the loss of oxygen or hydrogen, where the substance oxygen in the gain of oxygen and the loss of hydrogen. Reduction is the loss of oxygen and hydrogen of hydrogen. So oxidation and reduction we have studied. When oxygen it's gaining its oxidation, when it's reducing, it's a reduction reaction. So this is all about the part 2 of a chapter number 1. But still you have any question, any doubts, or you want a teacher to guide you personally, please join our 1-to-1 live tutoring at Go Ask Now Academy. We will help you to learn each and every concept with the ease. So thanks for watching and just stay tuned for the chapter number 2. Thank you very much.